Now look who's here, Trump surrogate and former mayor of New York City, Rudy Giuliani.
How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Back from a 4-day trip from every place you're thinking about.
Yeah. real quickly, the state of the race right now.
Right now, I think if we held the election today, he wins by 2-3% nationally and maybe by 2 states in terms of electoral votes. By the time we get to Tuesday, I think it'll be bigger.
The 2 blue states.
It's moving in his direction.
The 2 blue states that you think are ready to go red.
I think Michigan.
That's the #1 blue that you think.
Oh no, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Pennsylvania over Michigan.
I was in Philadelphia yesterday, right in the heart of Democratic town with the FOP, because the police officers of Philadelphia support Donald Trump. That's a Democratic city. All the police officers of Pennsylvania support him, the entire FOP. So we did a big ceremony at their lodge, and then I was at the Republican headquarters with all the workers that are getting out there to work. Now their job is interesting. Their job is to hold the vote to down to about, keep it at about 22% in Philadelphia. Romney was below 22%, and he lost. If we can get him to 22% in Philadelphia, then he's going to win the state.
Yeah. And where is he now? Where'd you say he is now?
He's probably at about 23, 24.
It's right in there.
Let's dig into the latest, Mr. Mayor. We woke up this morning and we're reading the latest about the email stuff and Anthony Weiner's laptop, and there are State Department emails that are found on his laptop.
Not duplicates, and apparently these are some of the email that they were supposed to turn over but didn't.
So illegal, whether they're classified or unclassified, because they're government documents. So the reckless statute that says if you're grossly negligent pertains to government records, not just classified material. So if any of that is government records, even not classified, that would be a misdemeanor. If it's classified, it would be a felony for him and whoever put it there. And if her...
Is Uma in trouble or is Hillary in trouble?
Well, Uma is definitely in trouble, and Hillary's in trouble because now we take her recklessness, and now we've extended it to making it available to a sexual pervert.
But it's still not intent. Comey talks about
intent.
But he says you do need intent.
But he's not a judge.
No, gee, well, that's why he didn't move
He's
to
not
indict.
Congress. He's not Congress.
And that's one of the reasons why right now...
Congress set up a grossly negligent standard for a reason, if you read the legislative history, because they want to scare people into being careful with the handling of sensitive information. So they said, intent, that'll put you in jail for a long time. But grossly negligent, you're still going to do 3 years in jail.
There are rules to this. You have to know the rules.
People have been prosecuted for this. Right. I've prosecuted people for this, even when I was sympathetic with the way in which they did it, because they actually made a mistake. Now, we know she had intent.
Right.
Comey is just dead wrong. When you destroy 33,000 emails, when you acid wash them, when you give 10 false exculpatory statements, that's the evidence that we use as prosecutors to prove intent.
Sure, and as people make their final decision over the next 4 days, you've got Donald Trump, who has said some coarse things, no doubt about it. But then you've got her. She is currently under a federal criminal investigation.
Well, she's definitely guilty. I can tell you that from just reading what
absolutely guilty? Is that what you said?
Absolutely. I think Judge Giuliani is going to explain to you the UBS case. Clearly, she went to Geneva because they got to over millions of dollars from UBS. She sold, she let 20% of our uranium go to Russia because they got about 30 million and their friends made over $100 million on that deal. That's what we call a quid pro quo, right? And now here's the best indication that the State Department and the Clinton Foundation will want. Uma Abedin and Cheryl Mills work for both.
Got paid.
She worked for both, which is unfathomable.
And Teneo, too. Teneo, rather.
And she had signed an agreement saying she was going to keep them separate. If you're going to keep them separate, your 2 top people don't get paid by the taxpayers.
Right. Hillary said she was going to keep them
separate. And they weren't volunteers for the Clinton Foundation. They were being paid by the Clinton Foundation.
Can we move over and talk about something you might have contacts in, and that's the FBI. The word is they're being ripped apart. There's an anti-Trump and a pro-Trump culture there. There's people that are outraged about James Comey. The New York office, the field office is beside themselves. What's going on?
I'm real careful not to talk to any on-duty active FBI agents. I don't want to put them in a compromising position. But I sure have a lot of friends who are retired FBI agents, close personal friends. This has been going on since July, since the day Comey did this. The reaction of the FBI agents who are retired that I know is almost uniformly that Comey made the wrong decision, that she should have been prosecuted back in July. And from that point on, I've been hearing from the retired agents that the Justice Department was obstructing the investigation of the Clinton Foundation, which might, in fact, be even more serious because it would be a vast fraud, multi-millions of dollars.
And, Mayor, because Jim Comey did not recommend charges back in July, that's one of the reasons why now, at the 11th hour, these FBI agents, though, are leaking to the press what's going on with the investigation.
Well, I think, look, who are they? The FBI agents are not the Clinton lackeys, or the Obama lackeys like we have in the Justice Department, like this guy Karzik or whatever his name is.
Kazik.
Yeah, who kept Podesta out of jail. Who's now an assistant attorney. Well, no, Podesta writes in an email, he kept me out of jail.
He did.
So this guy has been leaking information to Podesta. Should be fired immediately. In the Justice Department I worked in, he'd have been fired 3 days ago. And his door would have been locked, and everything would have been seized in his office.
2 days
what
ago,
else he leaked?
A couple of days before this all broke, you were on with Martha McCallum, and you looked at Martha and go, well, look out, something's coming down, and certainly it did. What did you know? And a lot of other networks are pointing that out as if you were part of that.
I'm not part of it at all. Well, all I heard were former FBI agents telling me that there's a revolution going on inside the FBI, and it's now at a boiling point. And
so you had a general idea that something was coming.
I had expected this for the last, honestly, to tell you the truth, I thought it was going to be about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Because way back in July this started. I think they kept getting stymied, looking for subpoenas, looking for records. She said in her interview, for example, that she didn't have a memory of her exit interview from the CIA because she lost her memory after the concussion. The FBI agents who did that did what any good FBI agent would do. They wanted corroboration of it. They wanted to get the medical records that showed, is she telling the truth? God bless her, she is. Or is she lying? In which case, that's Martha Stewart. You get indicted. They weren't allowed to get the medical records.
Yeah, of course.
Well, you do that to an honest FBI agent. I mean, just an honest guy doing his job. He gets angry.
Yeah.
So this has been boiling up in the FBI for some time. I did nothing to get it out. I had no role in it. Did I hear about it? You're darn right I heard about it. And I can't even repeat the language that I heard from the former FBI agent.
Well, let's just say they're leaking. All right.
We have a special announcement to make this morning. We've been reporting on these police officers that were killed in Iowa. This is Frank Siller. We came America came to know you during 9/11. Hey, Frank.
Oh, my brothers.
God bless you.
All right.
So we came to know Mayor Giuliani. The country did, really. You guys knew him because of your ties to New York. But for me, living in South Carolina, 9/11 hits. We know you. We watch your response. Frank Siller lost his precious brother in 9/11 and started a foundation. And now you're doing something special. But first, tell us about your foundation, and then we'll make the big announcement.
Well, on 9/11, my brother was on his way home after working the Squad 1 in Brooklyn and heard on the scanner what happened, and he went to the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. It was closed for security reasons, strapped his gears on his back and just ran through and did what so many first responders.
He ran through the tunnel.
Ran through the tunnel.
Ran
almost
through the
2
fire.
miles.
And that's your brother right there?
With all his equipment.
Yeah.
How old was he?
He was 34, father of 5, and so we've been doing many things in honor of him and all those who perished on that day. But the other day, the mayor called me from Iowa. After the 2 police officers were assassinated, kind of like Lou and Ramos here in New York, and said, Frank, what are we going to do? Because, it's just another horrific
And there they are
thing.
right there from Des Moines, West
They
Des
were
Moines,
assassinated.
They were assassinated.
So what are you doing to help them?
Well, what we did for Lou and Ramos, we raised money, we paid off their mortgages and renovated their homes, and we'd like to do the same for these 2 great officers that gave their life on the line of duty. One of them has a family, a couple of kids, and just recently bought a home. So we're going to take over that mortgage today.
You're kidding?
Yes, we're going to take on that mortgage
This is what they did
now.
for officers Lou and Ramos. Now, I should tell you, one of the reasons I called Frank is I was 2 miles away from where the shooting took place in Iowa. They're campaigning for Donald Trump. And when I woke up in the morning, Bo Wagner, who was the police officer with me, from a first-grade detective, had gotten the information, and he was up all night upset. He came to me and he said, these 2 police officers, looks like they were ambushed.
Yeah.
And he said, you won't believe it, but the first one was only 2 miles away from us.
My word.
Now, Frank also, the Tunnel to Towers, I should tell you, builds homes for catastrophically wounded warriors. That's their main mission. They raise money. They do the big race every year with 35,000 people at the end of September. This man is he's a saint, and his family is even nicer than him.
Frank,
Not too hot to do.
Frank, have you talked to the wives of these police officers?
It's just so brand
too
new
early.
that
They're
we
gonna
don't want
be-
to intrude
but
on it,
this
but
is
we
gonna be
want them
such
to
a
know
blessing.
that America cares, and
Yeah.
you guys are such a great help. You know, you go to tunneltotowers.org. Last time we were here with the 5 police officers in Dallas, we were able
Every
to raise
dollar.
$500,000 and help those 5 families. That's
great.
We'd love to be able to do the
Maybe
same.
we can reach out to the families for you and get you guys
Yeah,
together.
get you together.
All right.
Be good
So this is
stewards.
It's not done to get any credit, just to spur people on, but
Sure.
I've given them a $10,000 contribution to start it
that's
off.
wonderful. Thank
and
you.
every dollar will go to the families.
Every dollar.
Every
If
dollar.
you would
No-
like to help out there in TV land, it's tunneltotowers.org.
And you know they will, because we have the
Absolutely.
best viewers.
They
Thank
really
you
do.
so much.
My brother ran through the tunnel to the tower, so tunneltotowers.org.
He lives on with that. All right, Frank, thank you very much. Thanks for your good work.
Thank you.
Awesome.